Today I'm going to show you how to eliminate the fender on the back of the FZ-07, or at least how I did it, for free. I know it's a little bit put together. That was horrible. This is what my bike looks like now that I've taken off the tail. You see I have the plate tucked up underneath. I took off the signals that came with the bike and I replaced them. So I did this for free using the stuff that pretty much was on the bike already. So there is like this hole still where the old one was, but I'm sure I could put something in there if I really wanted to. So this bracket right here is the bracket that is attached to the back of the tail that holds your license plate onto it. So this is all the stuff that came with the bike already. I just modified it. So the only thing that if you want to pay for is new turn signals. So I put these LED strips in instead of using the old ones or buying different ones. So you could just use the old ones if you really wanted to, but I decided that I wanted these, that they just look sleeker. So that bracket usually is mounted onto here, and it has these coming off the sides to these are the reflectors. They have them on each side, so you can see that I grinded them off on either side, so that's not on there anymore. But this is the tail, so that's that part that was sticking up through where there's a hole now. The only real thing that you have to modify on the bike itself is right here. There's a bolt that comes through from the top, and you need to drill a hole inside of this to be able to put your mounting bolt through. I've taken off the seats so I could show you where that mounting bolt goes through to get to the license plate bracket itself. So right behind this box, you can see this bolt right here. That bolt is the one that comes through all the way down to here where there's a washer mounted. Here's the bolt itself that goes through there. If you want a full guide on how to take this thing apart and get all these panels off to take that back part off, check out Russian Rider's video. It's really good. That's the one that I used. I'll put a link in the description. Alright, so now I'm going to explain exactly what I did to be able to make it work without having to pay for any special brackets or anything like that. Basically, we take the old stuff, which is here, I'll put a picture, and we utilize the mounting bracket for the license plate, which is the black part. So here's a terrible sketch of what we're looking at on the back. So this bracket right here, this is the reflectors. Both of these are reflectors. This is the bracket that your license plate mounts to. So you have a bolt that would go in here and a bolt that would go in here, and your license plate would be right here. This is the bracket that you want to take off. So these bolts right here have a nut on the back, but they're welded to this piece right here. This is one piece. These bolts come out with it. So when you take it off, this is how it's going to be. There's these two bolts here are welded on from the back. So you're going to have to take a Dremel or something like that to come on here and cut these off. So these both have to come off so it's flat. So once you grind those bolts off, they'll be right around here and here. Once you grind those off, you'll have it completely flat, and you'll have a bracket like this if you look at it sideways. And you're going to want to bend it so you can put a bolt through here in this area with the washer, because there's that big hole in the middle. So that will go up into the bike itself. So before you get into bending everything, I think the easiest thing to do is to cut these off. These are the reflectors, and they get in the way when you try to attach it to the bike. So cut them off. Make sure that you line it up with your license plate so that it still has enough. So leave a little bit of extra. You could always cut off more later, but cut those out of the way so they're not in the way while you're trying to do your bending. Alright, so I flipped it over here because this is how it's going to attach to the bike. So there's going to be a bolt on here. Well, there's going to be a washer here with a bolt going through. And this is the part that's going to be up bolted inside of the bike. So this is the side view here. This is the way it is. So there's going to be a bolt that comes through here with a washer and a nut. And this bolt here goes all the way up into the bike. So this is where the head of your bolt is going to be. And your bike is here, like this. And then there's going to be your undertail, which is going to be like right around here. So it's not flat. The undertail isn't flat, so you need to bend this to make it work. So if you want it to work, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to bend this part down. So this part has to be bent down like this. So basically you want it to look like that. So it has a little spot that bends up so it can reach into the undertail, so the bolt can reach through and catch here, and then the rest of your bracket is free and it's not getting stuck up against the undertail, because the undertail is shaped kind of like this. So it wouldn't fit if it was flat. It would hit, and then you'd have to get a really long bolt, but then that's not very sturdy. So you want to bend it up inside, just like that. So here's your bracket again from a side view. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to make a bend like right there, and you're going to make a bend right there. So these parts right here, you want to bend downwards. You're going to bend them down, and then so once you have them like that, they're going to be right here is going to be flat, and then these parts are going to come down because you bent this just like that. So these are going to come down like that. And then you want to make another bend right there, right at that corner there. You want to bend it back flat again so it stays flat like this. So right around here, you would bend it back the other way so it would be flat. So once you have your bracket to this point, then you can work on the mounting points for your license plate, because these are where the bolts are going to go through here to mount your license plate. Your license plate is right here, just like that. So if you really wanted to, you could just leave it like this, but your license plate is going to be really angled. So if this is your tail of your bike, here's your wheel. Beautiful drawing, I know. If you leave it like that, your license plate's probably going to be looking something like this, where it's really angled inward, and I mean, for legal reasons, you kind of want to have it angled out so the police officers and whatnot can see it and you don't get pulled over. So here's where I'm talking about, where this is that flat part, and these two parts have to come down. And here are the mounting points for your bolts for the license plate. So this is what you have to bend. So up here, I bent it this way towards you, just a little bit, so that they can be more flat. And then here on the sides, I also bent this way, like this, so that they're more flat, coming this way. And there's still a little bit of a divot here, but the easiest thing to do for that is take your license plate and just give it little bends right there on the side, because this metal is a lot easier to bend than this metal. So once you do that, basically you're just gonna have to kind of make it work for it. I didn't really go in with a plan. I just kind of did it till it fit, and once I made it fit, I was done. So here's that bolt that comes through from the top, from where I showed you before, under the seat. Comes down through the hole that you'll have to drill in this undertail right here. You put that through, put a washer on. Otherwise, right here, let's see if I could show you. There's this slot, and this nut obviously wouldn't hit it, so I had to push this, put this washer there, so that it holds it in place. And that way, you can mount your license plate, no problem. So that way, when you bend the mounts, your license plate isn't as far back. It's not at this crazy backward angle, and you can bend it. I just bent it a little bit so it doesn't hit the tire there. So that way it's visible, and you're not, hopefully, not going to get pulled over. So the only thing that this doesn't have, well, that I chose not to do, is there's no license plate light at the top here. You could do that pretty easily by getting an LED kit. They're really cheap on Amazon. Just get a little white LED, run a wire up into the top, and connect it to your constant license plate light. Then the other thing is the turn signals, which I put in these LED strips. You could use the old ones and put them somewhere else, mount them anywhere you want, or you can get these ones. They're really cheap also on Amazon. They were, I think they were like $7, and I got 4 strips, so I still have 2 extras. I might do in the front, who knows. But that way, that whole huge thing is out of the way. You get your license plate tucked up underneath really easily, and it looks really good. I like it a lot. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I know this is kind of a little bit harder to understand because I did all the install without recording any of it, but I did that because I had no idea what I was doing, and now I do after it's done. So let me know. I'd love to help anybody make their bike look a little bit better.